All right, so, whoa, excuse me, weird way to start. So we've got our triangle menu set up, and again, that main menu, we have a triangle button, we have a quadrilateral button. So our next move is to set up that quadrilateral landing. So if you click that quadrilateral button, where do we go? And the answer to that is our quadrilateral screen. So we're going to set that up right now. Again, it's a new screen, so we're going to drag in a new screen into our phone emulator. It comes in as screen 4, which we're not going to do. So I'm going to rename that to quad menu, and I'm going to call it quad menu screen. Again, naming things what they are does really help you as you go through the list of objects that you've got to choose from as we build this bigger and bigger list of objects. It's going to be important to make sure that we're giving good names. I know I've said that before, but really, really important to give good names that are going to be meaningful to you as you continue to build your application. So on our quadrilateral menu screen, I am going to choose a color for this backdrop just because I can. So I'm going to go to my background color. And you can type in color names here, so that would work. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one. My wife's favorite color is green, so always you got to support the wife. I like that's a nice color green for me. If you don't like it, choose a different one. It's fine. But again, there is my color. I've got my backdrop set up. First thing I'm going to do on this backdrop is the same thing I did on my triangle screen, which was to give myself a main menu button. So I'm going to drag in a button. And I'm going to put this button in the lower left corner of the screen because I can. The name of this button is going to be quad back button. And then the text on the button is going to be main menu. Again, same basic thing that I did before was give myself a button that can be used to get back to that main menu. So maybe I don't want to do a quadrilateral. I'm looking for a triangle. I can go back to that main menu and see where else I can navigate. In addition to that button, I've got 3 different kinds of quadrilaterals that I can calculate perimeter and area of. Your square and rhombus, your squares and rectangles, those basic quadrilaterals that we think of all the time. And you got parallelograms and rhombi or rhombuses, and those are a second set of kinds of quadrilaterals. They have the same formulas, but we do need additional information to find perimeter for those 2 specific shapes. And then the third type of quadrilaterals that are fairly easy that we can use formulas to find perimeter and area of are trapezoids. So we're going to pop an image for each of those different types of quadrilaterals into what will essentially be our quadrilateral menu. So we've got that first menu where we choose between 2 different types of shapes, and this menu is going to choose between 3 different kinds of this type of shape, if that makes any more sense. So I'm going to drag in 3 of those image items, objects. Again, I'm trying to center them-ish, but again, more than that, I'm really just lining them up. Because keep in mind, we're going to have to end up resizing them and moving them around to make them look centered once we've done what we're going to do. So 3 images dragged in. I'm going to click on that first image, and its name right now is image 3, but we know we're not going to name it that. So this is going to be, I'm going to call it rectangle square. I'm abbreviating. So RECT for rectangle and SQ for square. And then I'll call this a button because we're going to use it as a button. Right, so I'm going down to image. I'm going to choose that image. And again, this is one I'm going to need to upload. So I've got this rectangle and square, RECT and SQR. That's my rectangle and square button. You can see what it comes into as. I'm going to, oopsie, I click the preview again. Not something I need to do. I can just click choose, and then that button will pop in. I'll start resizing once I've got all 3 of those images named and in. So I'm going to click on the second one. And again, it's coming in right now as image 4, but I know I don't want to name that. I'm going to name it. That's going to be my parallelogram. Now, maybe I should throw an R in there. So there's PRLL and then RHM. That's parallelogram rhombus. And again, I'm going to call it button, even though it's an image. I'm going to choose an image, upload the file. And again, I'm looking for the one that's called parallelogram and rhombus. And there it is. I'm going to click choose, and that image pops in as well. So 2 for 2 right now. Third image, again, it's coming in as image 5, but we're going to name it trapezoid. It's good enough. TRPZ button. Seems like something people would know. I'm going to click on choose, upload a file, find that trapezoid image and choose it. And now it's in. So I've got my 3 images in. The next thing to do is to resize them so that they're all similar in size, and yet I can read them and I can move them around so that they're going to work on my screen. So again, resize, that's pretty good. I can see it pretty easily. The text, the font on that is legible. I can read it. My parallelogram, that seems good. I feel good about where it is. And my trapezoid's the last of them. And again, trapezoid there looks pretty good. So again, I'm trying to make sure that they're centered up a little bit. Looks like they're centered up-ish. Or good enough for me. The trapezoid maybe needs to move a little bit this way. It's difficult with that parallelogram because it doesn't look centered even if it is. So again, I'm pretty happy with how this screen looks, and that's again what I need for my trapezoid menu. Those 3 different kinds that I can navigate to from those buttons. So this is the screen as it should be, and we'll look now at what happens when we click on that rectangle button, that parallelogram button, or that trapezoid button. We're going to look at those screens next.